Thank you, stranger. Thought I could sabotage the gate and keep more of these savages from reaching Sacrament's walls. But I got my damn fool self trapped too. Suppose there's a reason I'm a blacksmith and not a soldier, huh? Name's Fillmore. If you ever need anything repaired, you come to me. Nothing I can't fix. Now here, this will open the gate. Get yourself to Sacrament, through the Auburn Glades to the east. It's the safest place for both of us. But keep a careful eye out. I heard some of these Risen speak of a foul presence outside the city's gate. You go on ahead, clear the road. I can't fix nothing if I'm dead in a ditch.
Cinder and bone, you'll be.
Careful, Lara. Someone's coming.
A serum. Forgive my father. He mistook you for one of the risen.
If you make for Sacrament, there are worse things than bandits up ahead. A great beast is loose in these glades.
They say it used to be a man. I wanted to go after it, but father says...
Father says the torn are not to be trifled with. He's right.
I don't fear the pestilence any more than a wild boar. One day, they'll sing songs about my skill with the bow.
I'd prefer you alive to sing them yourself, daughter.
I don't fear the pestilence any more than a wild boar.
I'd prefer you alive to sing them.
As long as you're here, I'll keep attended for you. We both know what it's like to be lost in the woods. And all you can think about is a warm meal.
state your business. Quickly, don't think just because you felled the beast, you're an ally.
It's all right, Winnick. I apologize for the lack of hospitality. My friend here has his guard up for good reason. Once the raiders took the old fortress, their bloodshed has drawn more and more of those things towards our city. How did you manage to slay that monstrosity? My God. Your serum. The Watcher's call has been answered.
Ha! I told that old coot he was wasting his time. For once, I'm glad I was wrong. Serum, in the flesh and on our island. I thought you'd be taller.
Your kind's welcome within our walls. I trust you'll find a home here. Seek the Watcher, up in the rookery. Welcome to Sacrament. Sacrament's gates are always open to those in need, or those who keep her safe. Help yourself to our food and shelter.
But leave the ale to me.
The Watcher waits for you in the rookery.
Never wanted to see him like that. You hacked your way to our gates without a moment's thought. Our hero, everyone! Our hero has come! Butchering their way through what's left of our friends, our family, our child was a man. They all were. You think you know the plague. Are you the one who will save us all?
The rookery is just up ahead.
Make sure to get a good scrubbing after wading through the glades. Wouldn't want to end up all rotted away like them neath. And is that sand on your legs? Came all the way here from the shallows in this weather? Can't say if you're brave or just foolhardy, but you won't catch me being either.
You might have carved your way through Darak's forces near the coast, but the Risen always have something else up their sleeve. Maybe that torn thing you put out of its misery was their doing. Some sadistic scheme. Maybe they're already inside the gates. Good thing my eyes are wide and my wits sharp. Now move along, get to the rookery. Can't you see I'm on duty?
You should go to the rookery, high above. As a child in Marin Village, my parents told me bedtime stories of Sarum warriors. In a way, the tales of your kind inspired me to something greater than farming. I took up a sword to defend Sacrament. Watching you cut your way through that beast outside the gates, well, I still have a long way to go. Make your way to the rookery. Sacrament welcomed Dasha like me. Surely she'll welcome a Sarum as well.
world at your fingertips.
It's the serum. Here, over here. Is it really true you killed the creature at the gate? A serum and sacrament, and my smithy no less. Well, Fillmore's smithy. I'm just his apprentice, Will. Wait, Fillmore! On your way to Sacrament, did you encounter a blacksmith? He went out beyond the wall and hasn't come back. I hope he's all right.
I'm sure I'm forgetting something.
May your true name never be spoken, Saren. Make the world
You
your
and Pine lose what's kind. Pine and you lose what's true.
Ellsworth's had his chance. This city deserves better. Ellsworth let the Risen take the old fortress. How long until he surrenders our very homes? Lend your voice to mine.
You and
Why
Pine
cut and
lose
slice
what's
when
kind.
you can burn and
Pine and you
freeze?
lose what's true.
It's the serum. Here, over here.
What a curious outfit.
Those rags are wearing out fit for the fire.
Read about it, Mary, whether tailors at your service.
Mary, were you agreed? My name goes first.
No, Mira. I remember we decided I'd go first.
Fine.
We'll settle this later. Worn yourself down to threads, you have.
Looking a bit ragged, I'd say. Time for a change.
For the rookery, it lies above the town square.
I don't hear it roaring anymore. They say you killed the creature outside the gates. You don't see monsters like that in Marin. The city's got a pull to it. Like it draws in all the island. The good and the wicked. I only stay as long as I need to. But with those foul brambles in the Marin woods, it's been hard getting home.
Have you been written from the whispers? Are you my death? You're really here? A serum in Sacrament? So the Watcher was right. You came. Tell me, can you feel it? That flickering in the air? There are spots like this one all over Sacra. A prickling, as if something lies just beyond my vision, but is stronger here than anywhere else. I'm convinced this is the site of some ancient, vital serum remnant. Perhaps a nexus of sorts.
So I'm supposed to believe you're a serum. You may have landed a lucky blow on that beast at our gates. I'll give you that. But anyone claiming to be a legend is usually something else entirely. Wherever you go in this city, I'll be watching. Someone's got to. Don't like the look of you. Oh, look at them all. Peasants and thieves. Not an honourable soul in the whole city.
The pestilence is already among us, unspoken. You've come too late.
The mainland church is a child paddling in the mud. But you and I, we know better. We can climb the stairs toward the dawning sun.
You ain't seen what I've seen. You'll end up just like me if you venture outside these walls. This whole island wants to eat your flesh.
to our little corner of sacrament. A wretched bunch we are, but a family of sorts. They're all I've got anymore. Them and old Casper here. Lost it all to that cursed drug saver. Say, you wouldn't have a drop or two of it on you, would you?
You there? Please, wait. Corpus, please, I beg you. I can work, I'm good for it. Just need a bit of strength.
Please, spare a few coppers for those who've fallen on hard times. Everyone speaks of the suffering outside our walls, but ignores those of us suffering within them.
A killer, eh? Oh, I can smell it on you. I was like you once. Tracked down raiders, and worse, anyone who paid. Under their breath, they call me the bloody butcher. Oh, I confess, I loved it. Took a job once that let me deep into the floodlands. I got the bastard too, but not before he nicked me in the arms, splashing about like a dying fish. Didn't think much of it at the time, but that water. It wasn't long before the black rot set in. Lost my arm to no more than a pinprick. Would you believe that? And now I'm here. They don't call me the butcher no more. They don't call me nothing.
Do you need any help? My husband fell when Risen took the old cape. It's just me now. But I'm quite capable. I can even speak a bit of Dasha.
Needs doing, I'll do it. There's no lock I can't nibble loose, no window I can't wriggle through. You got this city wrapped around my finger, I have.
That's right.
The Risen take the keep. They were backwater scavengers, nothing but thieves on the road. You can't still think that. But that's the point. Time was they couldn't mount a horse, let alone an attack like that.
I hear you beat me to the monster outside our gates. I was fetching my armor when I pulled a muscle. Important to limber up before battle.
A true ceremony.
Sacrament.
In the sacrament of all
Such a dreary model.
I can't imagine what brings you to a sty like Sacrament. In Tyr, we live among the clouds.
In Tyr, everyone knows their place. And when the lowers forget, the uppers are always ready to remind them.
I think of the stone walls like our city's own family tree. Strange how the past is always growing, while the present is never more than a moment.
True serum?
We must
In
accept
sacrament.
God's embrace, or we will all end up like that wretched thing!
Better off sleeping under a doorway. Hello? Are you looking for a place to live? Well, you can't come here, to me. All my properties are full. Thank you.
To the rookeries, Sarah. Welcome to Sacrament, the last point of light on this island. Head right if you seek a meeting with the Watcher. Head left if you wish to see what becomes of bandits and traitors. The law must be upheld. Those who deny it always end up in cages. Or at the end of a road.
Nothing compares to the view from high atop Havenport's Great Wall. Just don't take one step too many, eh? It's okay, neither am I.
Hope those Bolene Knights march right into the sea. Thought you were one of those soldiers from Phelan at first. Another pair of dirty hands to keep the kings clean.
Never grateful for what they've got. All this charity toward the Dasha gotta come from someone's pockets. Consider mine sewn shut!
Only two people know why you came to Sacrament. You and I. Dark deeds swirl around you, stranger. I can see them. I have the gift of insight and outsight. Do you wish to know more? Morietta the Touch, that's my name. I know what awaits you, but the secrets of the unspoken realm are not given freely. That's right. I hear the words and whispers beneath all things. I was taught by the Serim, a mystical race, now all but extinct. The Seer tells me that you are of royal upbringing. You are from the West. No? The North. Be still. It's coming to me. The Seer tells me that you...
Is it true? The Risen have taken the old fortress. Sacrament's learning all the wrong lessons from Havenport. We gave up half the city. The Silverfish's gangs just wanted more. I came here to get away from all that. I hope Ellsworth's not as soft as Governor Grafston was.
Letters were not in vain.
It's an honor to meet you. I've only ever read the ancient texts about your kind. They have come, Master, from across the sea.
The pestilence. It festers. Everything it touches.
Did you not hear? The serum have arrived.
They won't come. Never answer.
I apologize. He is a brilliant scholar, but it's been so long. God's reach. They're already here.
Governor Ellsworth.
Madrigal Celine, I apologize for the lack of a formal welcome. If you sent word, it must have been lost.
A welcome sight, though, aren't they? About time Phelan sent reinforcements.
My inquisition is here as an act of mercy, Baron Winnick. There is an unholy presence on this island. I have come on behalf of King Magnus, who
King
sent
Magnus? The boy.
Forgive me. I thought you had heard. Your brother, the king, has passed.
How long?
It will be a week tomorrow. You should return to Phelan, Governor. Your nephew has extended his hand. He invites you to rejoin the family.
Thank you, Madrigal. But Sacra is my home.
Sacra will be in capable hands. My Inquisition have quartered ourselves in Fort Reach, and will remain for as long as it takes to heal this island.
Fort Reach? Sacrament's a bit out of your way then, isn't it?
My outfit encountered a group of raiders as we came ashore on your coast. We sent all of them to rejoin God, save one. I thought she might be of particular interest to you. We could have left her body by the side of the road with the other animals. Consider this an offering of goodwill from the church.
Where was the church when our people were sick and starving? We're done begging for scraps. We take what we need.
Odessa. Don't.
Leave her. I'm sure the governor can properly discipline his own daughter. At least as well as he governs his city.
My apologies, Madrigal. She does not stand for sacrament.
Damn right I don't.
Guards, take her away.
This way, Rhythm. I should have never taught you that little move.
You will arrange an escort for my vanguard to Kalen.
Kalen? It will be done. Is there anything else we can do?
You can rejoice, Governor. Your salvation is at hand.
Oh, the Inquisition at our gates and Sarum in our rookery.
We've prepared lodgings below. A humble room, to be sure, but safe and warm. I hope you've arrived in time to save our fair island, not only in time to witness its ruin.
Decayed and crumbling, just like the old man's mind. It's that apprentice of his, useless scrapper, couldn't lift anything heavier than a pen. And how can he think with that hat full of wax? I should have a word with Ellsworth. Who's that? Oh, a visitor. Of course. I've told the Watcher this tower's not fit for livestock, and yet there he goes, boarding any stranger that comes along when there are plenty of houses in Sacrament for purchase. You'll have to head upstairs. There's no way down for now. A fine staircase should be too. Would get us to the market in half the time. Most days you'll find me not far from there, in the square by the wardroom. Maker Danos. I can repair anything with the right materials. Except laziness. This city can be rebuilt. There was greatness here once, though it seems I'm the only one who remembers.
You're awake? Oh, please, Sarah, you must see this. Forgive the grotesque display. We pruned some of the poor torn soul you killed at our gates. I left a vial of its blood here on the table, but when I returned, I found it altered. The Watcher, he must have refined it, purified it. An ancient technique. Now you just need to... I apologize, it's my nerves. The ichor must flow through your veins. The scrolls say it gives strength to your kind. Go to the Watcher. This skill is it's beyond me.
Where is Roan? Are you? Roan, come here. There's a stranger in the rookery. Why have you gone?
If you should encounter any more of the Torn, collect their ichor and bring it to the Watcher. And if you ever want to know the comings and goings within our fair city's walls, I'm your man. Roan, scholar, guide, inquisitive soul, unrepentant gossip, at your service.
You must bend death to your will.
spoken long ago? Or have I simply forgotten to speak? The mind is a burrow, a dark hole filled with muck and vermin. But sometimes, perhaps,